Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that came out of left field that in an ironic way pretty much served as confirmation that even the biggest Eminem critics believe he's at least
top 5 easily.
And we got to find out about this thanks to former Jay-Z and the Roots associate who, quote, exposed Eminem's biggest secret of using ghostwriters. And boy, their reactions to this news have been glorious to say the least, and we'll expand on this in a moment. Today we also have more on Drake, and at this point, there seems to be always something going on every single day that paints Drake in a negative light, although in this case he reportedly did it to himself when he was exposed for voting for himself in reaction to a poll about the best diss tracks between him and Kendrick Lamar, and we saw Drake pretty much do a version of liking your own tweets on social media, and we'll expand on this in a moment as discussions have now popped up about what Drake could do to climb out of this situation. And things aren't looking good because no one can come up with a legit answer so far. And as you'd see, Kendrick could be on his way to prove some of Drake's lyrics on Family Matters. Oh look, Kendrick just opened his mouth, someone hand him a Grammy. More on this later. And today we also have a latest report that shows Eminem is doing some mind-blowing things internationally, and this time all the way in Australia. And we'll get to this at the latter part of the video, seeing as we continue to see some crazy things happen for a guy who supposedly has been irrelevant since 2002. And as usual, save your thoughts for later in the comment section. And starting with a report from Forbes that caused a bit of commotion on the web after they decided to do their version of Billboard's top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. And if you recall, that list pretty much sparked a beef between Eminem and Melly Mel, so perhaps Forbes is looking to recreate this ruckus. Check it out, Forbes top 50 rappers of all time. And here's a quick rundown of the top 10. Jay-Z, Kendrick, Wayne, Cole, Tupac, Drake, Ye, Nicki, Nas, and Eminem complete the top 10.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
And some people have noticed something strange about all of these ridiculous lists, because lately, no matter how trash they are, they all seem to put Jay-Z at number 1, and this went viral. They are forcing Jay-Z down our throats. What do you mean he's number 1? Be serious right now. Personally, I don't have a problem with someone ranking Jay-Z at number 1, but I certainly find it strange that lately, all of these publications, regardless of how terrible the list is, seem to put him at number 1. Even Complex did it back in 2021 for their Versus Power rankings, which is laughable knowing what we know based on recent objective data. And it is something about Eminem that gets the party started. Thank God Eminem is not top 5, but since they've got rappers that we have proof that they use writers like Ye and Drake above Eminem, I'm here wondering why Dr. Dre isn't in the top 5, since this isn't a factor to consider. And users are asking questions all over the place. What are they basing this on? Because how is Drake higher than Nicki and Eminem? Loudly crying emoji. And why is Jay-Z number 1? And why is Kendrick above Wayne? Laughing emoji. But yet again, we have to wonder, what is it with these recent lists always putting Jay-Z at number 1? And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts. And moving on, speaking on Jay-Z, his former associate Jaguar Wright, who has been hell-bent on exposing Jay-Z, as I believe she's even claimed that Jay-Z is worse than Diddy and that Jay and Beyonce are next on the list to go down. So this is a person who is known to go overboard with their takes, and we got an interesting take about Eminem that blew up on Twitter a few hours ago. Check it out. We've been saying this for years. Jaguar Wright reveals the name of Eminem's ghostwriter, Proof.
Top 3 in hip-hop is a tough argument, but it all come down to 5 names. KRS-One, Big L, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. And honestly, Proof.
Ooh.
If he got credit for every lyric he wrote for Marshall Mathers, also known as Eminem, because the rap record that Eminem has solely belongs to Proof, who wrote it and taught Marshall how to perform it. Can you imagine being one of the dopest black rappers ever and you invented the hottest white boy rapper and sold it? He invented Slim Shady. Proof invented Slim Shady. And Marshall never gave him credit.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Damn.
And boy, the reactions have been glorious, because the fact that we are at this point shows how down bad Eminem critics are at the moment. And for some context, a user broke it down. Wait, I thought M's music wasn't good. Now, apparently, ghostwriting some of it is enough to put you in top 5 of all time. And this is a roundabout way that shows even some of Eminem's biggest haters are at a point that they have to admit his greatness in their own way. And some have expanded. Get the entire F out of here with this bull crap. Y'all are so desperate to discredit Eminem because of his skin color that you're willing to push bold-faced lies and disrespect the legacy of his deceased friend. Disgusting. Quote, seeker of truth in the bio while spreading lies is nasty work. And personally, I find this entertaining as hell, as some are still asking. Eminem's music isn't relatable to black people, I keep reading. But turns out it was all written by a black man. Help. And we got the classic, since this was posted as, quote, we've been saying this for years.
We? We.
And more from those who chose to indulge. There are videos of Proof himself saying he has never wrote for Marshall and that Eminem would never use a writer. Gross to talk on someone else after they have passed, especially his best friend. And this has got to be a first, right? Em and Proof were literally freestyle battle rappers. Eminem more so. Ghostwriting was heavily frowned upon and could have been career-ending. There has never been a rumor or even a word of Proof writing anything for Eminem. This lady is just talking nonsense. And before we get to Eminem pretty much destroying the Australian market, we got more that hit the web a few hours ago that painted Drake in a negative light, as this went viral across platforms when a screenshot from a poll revealed that Drake took part in the voting process for the best song out of this beef. And this is certainly a horrible look for Drake, as we even got takes like, Drake is the sixth god and Family Matters is at 6%. What is up with this beef? LOL. And the piling on Drake continues on social media as this went viral. However, this got nuked by community notes that showed people are now manipulating posts to make Drake's loss look even worse. And this is ironic, since Drake was accused of using bots a while back to trash Kendrick Lamar. And on what Drake could do moving forward, no one can come up with a decent idea. Check out a snippet from Apple Music, a discussion on this.
But I don't like people thinking that we're Drake haters. And I can understand why they might think that because of the energy.
Because wouldn't his fans want to see him step into the flames right now and I mean, he respond in some way with something?
What else are you gonna say?
Listen, I've been asking the same question for a long time, and y'all tried to act like I was out of my mind on this program. When I was like, I don't know how Drake comes back. I don't know what his sound is gonna be. I don't know.
That's what we're saying. Like, what is he?
Y'all was like, well, what did he? What got taken from him? How does Drake ever talk greasy on a song like you about to do something tough?
After this.
How does that happen? How you? Kendrick called you out for co-opting the entire Atlanta thing. Yeah. And so what is your slang now? What is your what are you saying now? And do you but also there's an opportunity in that. Because now it is time. Because everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people in Toronto was like, Toronto got a sound. And I was like, okay, in this battle, if Drake would have said, you know what, like the Avengers, it's Toronto versus everybody.
You can't do that.
What would that have sounded like? What is the, because we know when we heard mustard on the, everybody's like, we knew what that was.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
What is that for them?
Now, personally, I've enjoyed watching media journalists act like they didn't want Drake to get whooped from the start. Even Joe Budden was out here pretending at one point. But what are your thoughts? And it looks like Drake's lyrics about Kendrick Lamar on Family Matters could come to fruition, as TMZ caught up with the Grammy CEO, who spoke about the possibility of Not Like Us winning a Grammy. Check out a snippet.
What do you think about They Not Like Us as far as like something to maybe nominate or even be a winner as like for record of the year or like even like hip hop, categories?
Obviously it's a hot record, it's amazing artistry, great writing, the talent in that record, it's incredible. And you got artists that have been nominated before, and Kendrick obviously has been successful with the organization, so I don't see any reason why it couldn't be. It's all about the quality of the record. It's really about the members. The members like it, and they'll be nominated.
But it is a diss record, and there are like, it's one of those tracks where there's a lot being said that's like, whoa, there's some heavy bombs in there. Would that make a problem for like within the Academy, like the voting body? Like, would they be like maybe hesitant? Would you predict that, or that they would see it for the art?
I think the voting members of the Academy appreciate greatness.
Yeah.
They appreciate what's hot, what's going on. That's a relevant record. It's impacting on so many levels. There's so much creativity and talent. I like to believe that the Academy members recognize that.
Come on, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. It's just too much. I don't want to be the bad guy. I love all people. Come on, man.
And moving on, thanks to a latest update from the ARIA, we got to find out some mind-blowing new stats about Eminem in Australia. For instance, check this out. New Eminem certifications in Australia: Lose Yourself at 20 times platinum.
What sorcery is this?
Love the Way You Lie 18 times platinum. Without Me 17 times platinum. Just take a look at this. And this sends shockwaves across the board. What the F? Eminem's Lose Yourself is now just the 5th song to be certified 20 times platinum in Australia in music history. This is huge. And Love the Way You Lie also broke into the top 10 all time at number 10. But we also got some album updates that shows the Eminem Show is at 18 times platinum. And now Kamikaze has officially completed Australia. Every single song on the album has earned a certification, and Venom and Lucky You lead the pack at 4 times platinum respectively. Certainly not bad for a rapper who's been, quote, irrelevant since 2002, or so we are told. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.
Not be juju be that.